welcome into Attacking Third, brought to you by CarMax, the way car buying should be. It is Sunday night. We're going live immediately after Angel City against Houston to wrap up the NWSL action alongside Christine Cupo and Jen Beattie. I'm Lisa Carlin. Guys, we had about 5 minutes of slate there. And prior to that, Jen, you were like, what's our banter going to be? Well, I don't know, Jen. What did you just do for the last 5 minutes? Because I missed you, man.
Well, Logan, our dog, just joined the show, so she's
Aw.
sat next to me. Yeah,
Hi,
can't pick her up. She's that big. But quiet weekend, guys. I didn't feel like the weather's changed over here. I'm staying well and truly indoors, but I'm excited to spend my Sunday night with you guys.
Heck yeah. I just had like a 5-minute
dog.
existential crisis. You can't leave me alone with my thoughts for that long. I was like, please let me speak to Beattie. Let me speak to Lisa. Somebody help me. I'm okay now. Big spooky season.
Yeah.
Carlin, when are we going to a haunted house?
Please,
That's what I want to know.
anytime.
That's what I just thought about. I want to go be
You guys
spooky.
see my bats here?
I do.
I went on my
Witchy
mirror.
woman.
I
Surrounded by Scorpio queens.
Absolutely. I'm a bit of a spooky gal. My house is definitely decorated for Halloween, but like in a very classy, tasteful way, hence the bats. But I agree, Christine, we should be going to a haunted house, especially in this weather.
Leave me out of that, guys. Leave
You're
me out
not
of that.
No?
You get too scared?
No, did anyone see my Instagram story today? The
I
decorations
did. I saw your
on the
witches,
street
but
are freaking me
also
out.
you're hilarious. You're like, oh, when I run by it, which is now like once a month, and I was like in tears.
No.
I was like,
My daily run, actually, I should have said.
Daily
fair.
run.
Me never.
Your daily run that you do once a month?
Averages out. Some weeks are better.
We'll need
every time you can't be doing the haunted houses, can't be doing the scary things. A lot of pumpkins on the streets, though. You guys are right. Yeah.
It is definitely spooky season. Lisa, who's joining us live on YouTube, says A3 Haunted House live. I'm totally in.
I would live stream that.
I love that. We get our best suggestions from the people here on YouTube joining us live in the chat. So thank you guys. If you join us and you're watching us live, we so appreciate it. If you're watching on Golazo Network or if you're listening as a podcast, thank you guys. It is so good to always have you here with us. As a reminder, if you're a listener as a pod or you just watch on Golazo Network, you want to check us out on YouTube, come on over to youtube.com/WGolazo. It is the new channel name, W Golazo. Check out A3 and all the content there, because there's pretty fun conversations happening in the chat about everything from haunted houses to NFL to NWSL. And that is where we're starting the show today. NWSL coming off of Angel City taking down Houston 2-0. We're going to talk all NWSL Week 24 and our biggest takeaways, plus, of course, our weekly best 11, the best part of the show that we do that everyone loves. So start thinking who would be in your best 11, your coach, and your honorary captain, and let us know in the chat on YouTube. Let's dive into it, though. We have to start, Christine, with Angel City against Houston, because this match for Angel City was an absolute must win coming into this one. They were spacing down elimination in the playoffs. If they didn't get a win, it was win or bust. And they end up a goal from Kennedy Fuller, a goal from Mayara Noose at the end of this game. 2-0, they take down Houston. Dash, what'd you like from this match?
This might have been the most chill I've ever seen Alex Strauss this entire season for NWSL on the sideline. The man turns like purple with screaming, which I respect because honestly, same. I can't even call him out for that. But Angel City, as Alex Strauss has been tinkering, and he has still been tinkering, they seem to really look good in their passing, but still lack those like final balls, which just has been a symptom now, match over match. We saw them hunting, and then we get that cheeky little no look pass, which I was like, where did that come from, man? We were just like pinging things into space, and then all of a sudden we got some like suavemente out of Angel City, which I'll take it any day of the week. Kennedy Fuller picking up her 4th goal this season, looking shiny and new. And then, my word, June Endo. And I know we have to talk about that goal, but like June Endo on the run with the cheeky heel flick pass, just precise. Like my jaw was on the floor, because at that point I was like, is anything else going to happen this match? And boom, June Endo, ball in. That alone, I would play that back 7 times just to watch how she turned her body.
Well, I think that's what's so fun about that game, right? Because we were all kind of saying, or when I was watching it anyway, I was thinking, right, getting the ball into really good areas, Angel City, but the sort of quality in the final third was like, right, how are they going to get this goal? So it's kind of awesome that their 2 goals came from 2 moments of pure quality and class. Like the no-look ball, I'm like, I want to ask her what was going through her head at that point, because for an 18-year-old to be doing that count, like, that's awesome. Yeah, so for 2 real high quality bits of skill to go on and to get the 2 goals, I love that from, because that's what they needed. I think they've come through so much as a team, and I think when a team as well is changing a formation this late in a season, I think that's what their 3rd game in sort of formation. I think
Yep.
Gordon was talking about that before the game, and I thought, wow, to be changing that much, let alone personnel, what you were just talking about, Cupo, so it's personnel and formation, structure, everything. These seem to be really finding their flow, like, within it, and I thought that's a lot for players to take on board at this point of the season. That's a lot of information, change of manager, everything. So
And so
can they
much
get it over the line? We'll see.
And so much of the
Yeah.
change of personnel, right? It wasn't
Yes.
just the manager coming in. Think of all the pieces
Mm-mm.
that Strauss and Mark Parsons have brought in since the summer break. Evelyn Shores, Sarah Dorshan, Mayara, Jan's daughter was
Ina
also
Sagita, Neely
Sagita,
Martin
yeah.
knew. Yep.
Martin.
Yeah.
Yes. These are all players that not only have come in, but then have started. Like that, we just
Mm.
rattled off how
I know.
many 6 of the starting 11 of this Angel City team, but him being able to bring in those specific players, their style, the intelligence of them allows them to be 3 games into this new 3-back that they're playing, which is entirely different. And they're only able to do that because they have Mayabi and Giselle Thompson as their wingbacks, which make it effective. Now, if all of this change happened like overnight on the summer break, and we could start August with this 3-back and with all these players that have come in, Sugita and Martin, I think this Angel City side would look so different right now in the season. But as it stands, there's 2 matches left in the season. They're still pretty much on the outside looking in, not eliminated yet, but how much more is it going to take for Angel City to continue to move forward? Because they did pick up Priska Chilufya, who was acquired on Thursday in the trade with Orlando Pride. She did come on at the end of this match for Angel City. We got to see our first glimpse of Chilufya in black Angel City colors, Christine. Is she going to be the missing piece for Alex Strauss in the playoffs?
She was kind of a player that I had my eyes on coming into the league to begin with. I was very excited to see her and what she could do. She seemingly has had an issue just trying to acclimate to NWSL, which is not really surprising. It's a wonder that players that have come in, like Abanda, like Shawinga, and have acclimated immediately, those are the outliers. I think they make it look so easy that we expect a lot of players. And she's been given a lot of opportunity at Orlando to try to make her impact. She was given minutes, she was given some starts. She never seemed to rise to the occasion. So I'm curious now, and we know that sometimes it's just a symptom of time, place, manager that kind of gets a player to ignite, whether Alex Strauss is going to be able to get Priska Chilufya to rise to the occasion finally and be that kind of final finishing piece, that definitive goal scorer for Angel City. Right now, the jury is out for me.
Jen, what about you? When you think about Angel City, and this was the win that they kind of needed to bump them up in the standings. Now they sit in 10th place. They are just ahead of Houston Dash, who they just beat it on 27 points. Can Angel City make it into the postseason? Like, it sounds like a simple question, but that really, it's a big one if you look at them.
I mean, they need every single point, right? There's no denying that. I think they can pick them up against Chicago. I think they're more than capable of doing it against Portland as well. Portland have been a little bit inconsistent. Look, I thought in moments they looked really good tonight, and I think Sugita, I was really intrigued to watch Sugita in midfield. I think it was Leanne on the comms that was talking about Sinclair talking about how she was the smartest player she'd ever played with at Portland, and I was like, right, I'm locked in. I want to watch, what she did. Some of her movement really was top class. The way she sort of positioned herself, occupied like positions on the pitch were really, really smart, like international level smart. So I do think players like that anchoring your midfield that can connect you back to front is what gets you over the line. And it is tactical little bits of information like that. And look, forwards coming in, quality in the final third. I think tonight would have been a massive confidence boost for them. They needed that so
They
bad
needed
from
this.
individually as a team collectively. I think you could see the manager last week, you know, he had his 3 fingers up saying there's 3 games to go. That motivation was highly there. And I think you could see that from the group. So confidence wise, I think they just need to run with it in this last 2 games and be like, let's go. There's nothing else to give other than everything in the last 2 games. So I think why not? Why not?
I think it's going to take a lot. Not only does Angel City have to win out their next 2 games, but a lot of other teams have to drop points and things have to go their way. But that's what Angel City is building towards. Excites me more than their postseason potentials this year. What Alex Strauss is looking ahead to next year with some of the young players. Evelyn Shores has come in out of the college game and done a tremendous job in the back line and playing as part of a 4-back, as part of a 3-back. Her ability on the ball, she still looks young at times, but there is such a high ceiling for her. And the other pieces that he has brought in, I mean, Jen, you were just talking about Hina Sugita. Not only is she such a high IQ Japanese international, she plays with June Endo, Mayabi. Like, these are players and a relationship internationally that she already has a foundation of coming into this team, which has allowed Hina Sugita to slot in so seamlessly. But also Neely Martin. Those are 2 people that Alex Strauss has brought in to solidify the midfield area for Angel City. That is directly down the spine. And the most important thing about Hina Sugita and Neely Martin, they've both won NWSL championships. And that is what Angel City wants. Neely Martin with Gotham just 2 years ago. Hina Sugita back with Portland Thorns in her first year in the NWSL in 2022. And those are the people and those are the players and types of players Alex Strauss wants at Angel City to cultivate a winning culture at a club that has not won anything.
Absolutely, Lisa. I think on paper right now, they look really, really terrifying. And if they manage to get these pieces to click together, we're in for an absolutely explosive Angel City team. I think what they intended for them to be, looking at even the reinforcements that he's brought in, you can see where he's looking, how he's looking. I mean, very sharp, technical players that are very organized. And I'm just kind of waiting to see, because you saw like the clicking with Miyabi and even the link up with like Giselle, how they're playing together, just up and down that flank. I think that it gives them a more even attack on both sides, and especially in the midfield, it makes them a lot more lethal.
I think that's such a common, or I would like to think anyway, when you're at this point in the season as players and staff, and you know, regardless of how the season's gone, but you always have short-term and long-term goals and planning and the sort of internal conversations. And I generally think, I'll go back to talking about formation. That'll be a short-term goal to win games towards the end of the season, but it'll also be putting in place things that they want to start fresh on going into next year. So I couldn't agree with what you've both said. There's short-term winning these games, but they will come back even stronger next year because they've got the players in place to really build on from that now.
And
Yeah, I think too. Sorry, go ahead, Lisa.
I was just going to say, not even like winning right now, but like obviously everyone wants to win. But I think also putting together complete performances and building those relationships, because let's be real, Angel City, if they make the postseason, they're not going to win the championship. Like, to me, it's almost like, let's just build towards next year. Let's see what partnerships we can create on the field. Do we like this 3-back? Is it effective against these different teams that we're playing against? How can you nullify Kansas City, who is the best attacking team in the league? How can you go against a Houston side that's a little gritty, that almost matches you pound for pound all over the pitch? And can we get the upper hand over them? To me, it's all these like small margins that build towards next year that, of course, no one inside the club would ever say. But if I'm an Angel City fan, I'm almost like, I don't care about this year as much anymore. We've had too much change, too much players coming in and out, and a new coach and an interim for the first half of the season, knowing that we were not going to have him forever. I'm almost like, let's just get through this year, build upon what we can. And as soon as our last game happens and we're eliminated from the postseason, let's build. Let's build for 2026 so we can be a top of the table team consistently fighting not only for a spot in the postseason, but a championship.
Yeah, I mean, 1,000%. I think that's what everything, I feel like, from the point that Alex Strauss took the reins on June 1st, onward has been like icing on the cake where they've seen indicators of possible success. And I think that's something that's kind of freed him up to make a lot of the tweaks that he's making. Like I talked to Riley Tiernan the first week that they tried that 3-back and kind of asked like, how are you guys acclimating to some of the new asks upon you? And she kind of said like, hey, it's coming along, like we're trying, which is quite frankly extremely honest, because what are you going to say? Like, you're going to go out there and you're going to see some of the rust, the figuring out, the inconsistencies. It's kind of ballsy, and I think that they were in the position to be able to do that because there wasn't the expectation that they'd see this throughout to playoffs. So making the playoffs, I think, is going to be beyond what the expectation was set at.
I'm excited for this Angel City team in the future and to see what else can come from them. But let's focus week 24 elsewhere in the NWSL, because we're talking our biggest takeaways, guys. And I want to give you mine because I wrote this in our doc. And the Utah Royals San Diego Wave game, I had circled heading into the weekend because I like watching how Utah plays. I like their style, how they have high flying a press, how their players have all this little individual flair and they're working together, and a San Diego Wave team that coming into this weekend absolutely needed a win, and they get it. 3-2 on a rain delay. It was a ugly night. This was like a Scottish football night, Jen. I'm just going to say it was cold and rainy and a little miserable in Utah.
I think she just called that ugly, Jen. I'm just saying. Not
I
me. I didn't say it was
heard it.
ugly, but she just called it ugly.
Listen, that didn't go missing on me. I heard it.
Well, for a team from San Diego to go out and play in that kind of weather and be gritty, be a little blue collar, be a little not play as beautiful as San Diego always wants to play in Utah on the road, and to pick up 3 points says to me that San Diego has been in a little bit of a hibernation over the last couple of weeks because that was their first win in 7 games. But they jumped from 8th in the standings, where they have dominated the first 6 months of the season, being in the top 4 of the standings, from 8th. And this win takes them to 4th. This was a game for San Diego. Absolutely.
What I love the most about what we've just spoken about weather-wise is knowing Jonas Eidevall so well. There's no way he would have let any of the elements get in the way of winning this game. I think they started so strong this year, and I loved watching them, and I feel like they dipped performance-wise a little bit. But I feel like, again, we talked about Angel City needing this confidence-wise, and San Diego Wave needed it massively as well, I think. I think they got a little bit fortunate with their match-winning goal. That was obviously, cross situation from Kenza Dali, but look, huge 3 points, big for them on the road as well, under the weather circumstances which you're talking about. But no, I think they stepped up and they needed it, and yeah, another huge points for the Wave.
Kenza Dali spoke after this game, Jen, and they asked her, was it a shot? Was it a cross? What was happening? And she said that she shot it. She said, we got scored on this exact same way last week. I've seen it happen in the NWSL. She told her French teammate, I'm going to shoot like that. And she shot like that in the game. So it was not a fluke from Kenza Dali. Straight from her mouth, she said, I shot that to make it a goal. And it was.
Skill then. I was almost going to throw out, is that a crot? Do you guys say that over here?
Crot. No,
Crot.
I don't say crot.
Shot, cross.
We're going to start saying crot now.
Okay.
We say Schross. I say Schross.
Okay, well, Kenza Dali's a shot anyway, so there's no.
So it doesn't matter.
No
she said it was. But Christine, how important is this for San Diego to get that win?
Nope, this is massive. They were on a what was their? It was more than 4 match.
First win
winless.
in 7. First
win
in
7. It's been brutal. And to Beattie's point, yeah, they started off this season so sharp and high flying, and the passes looked great. The movement was good on and off the ball, surprisingly so. And I think that was part of just our recalibration in terms of what our expectations should be for San Diego Wave side that came off of a really weird, tumultuous front office on pitch season into a new manager who you always have to question again, like coaches coming into NWSL that have never coached there before. We know Jonas has vast experience and is great and managed to really, really get this team together quickly. But I think they suffered a lot at the points in the season that we would expect them to as people who have consistently analyzed this league, knowing how much youth they were relying on. And I think that the youth early on was kind of what gave them the bravado and audacity, because sometimes you don't know to worry or fear what you haven't sort of combated before. So they were playing freely, they were doing what Jonas asked of them. And then you kind of hit these speed bumps in the season in NWSL that make things really hard. It gets to be that slog point, and I think that's where they got gummed up a little bit. And now they're starting to turn it around again, which is kind of crazy because this slid them back up into, you said
Fourth.
sixth, fourth? Yeah, fourth. So, I mean,
Wh-
they've been like the overperformer, I think, for me all season long, despite
When
the slumps.
when the Wave are on form, they can be a team that can contend for up against Kansas City. When
Absolutely.
we're talking about who can compete with KC, the Wave are up there when they're on form, and that front line when Leon, Kenzadali, Cascarino, when they're on flying form that we've seen at the start, then that what we know they're more than capable of, they can compete with any team in this league, let alone playoff final championship games.
Absolutely,
I
but
really
they
believe
haven't
that.
been able to do it as consistently. Kenza Dali
No.
said that this was post-game in her interview. She said this was the most important game for San Diego of the season. She said this is the beginning of our playoffs, and they were able to do it. San Diego pick up a 3-2 win over Utah, 3 points, propel themselves up higher in the postseason push. Still haven't clinched yet, but that win did eliminate Utah Royals. Another team that held on, Angel City, they were not eliminated, facing elimination tonight in their game over Houston Dash. They end up with a 2-0 win. And we've got one of the newest Angel City members, Hina Sugita, joining us live. Hi, Hina. How are you?
Hi.
Good. I'm so
Yay.
graduating.
We are so happy to chat with you. Congratulations on the win. This is just your second game in Angel
Yeah.
City. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
Yeah, it was so fun. And like I tried my best every time. Yeah.
Any words of wisdom today heading into this match for your fellow teammates? I know you're new to the team, but you're definitely not new to this league, and you're not new to this part of the season where it gets really challenging. Have you shared any advice with your teammates, linking up again with June, Miyabi? How's it going over there?
Oh yeah, we have a just like same page, so like easier to play. But like other players good like a movement and yeah, they have it so nice. So yeah, I'm really happy to be here.
Hina, what do you enjoy most about this formation with the three back as a midfielder? Do you think it
Yeah.
benefits the team, or and what do you love most about the different angles of pass or pressing as a
Yeah.
experienced international that you are?
Mhm. So we can get like more higher, and then like we can create like over numbers. So
Mm,
yeah, I just like everything like just fun and enjoying, and then like yeah, I know like our triangle like
yeah,
Japan side like Japan triangle is
yeah.
like the most fun. So we can we can create more like a good situation and score.
Hina,
Awesome.
it is fun to watch you. 2 games left. Alex Strauss, after this game, after last week, he said 3 games left. Now it's 2 games left. What is the message after the game tonight?
Um. So seems like it. What did he say to you guys to pump you up to the next game?
Oh, I lost her. Did you guys lose
Uh,
her?
The parting message was just get out there, I think. Mic drop.
That's all
yeah.
right. Hey, Hina Sugita,
There
thank
we
you. Oh, she's
go.
back.
Yeah.
Hi.
Thank you. Oh yes. We just like we had so many chance. So we can try like a more get like score. Yeah.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Hina, thank you so much. Congratulations on the
Bye
win
bye.
and good luck the rest of the way.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Wow, what a
Aw,
treat. We weren't
she's
sure we
the
were going to
She's
get
best.
so
Hina Sugita,
cute.
and we
I
got
wanted
her.
to
She's
She's
the
the best.
best.
hug
I wonder
her.
if the Hina Hive has traveled from Portland to Angel City and to LA. You know her fan base, they're called the Hive.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder, you know what? We'll have to tap in anybody in the chat repping. I know we got some Portland fans. Like, let us know what's the 411 on the Hina Hive. Are they now partially supporting Angel City? Do we have a conflict of interest here?
I want to be part of the Hina Hive now. I should
I
have been
Get
already.
t-shirt. We can
Should have
make
been
t-shirts.
already.
Jen, you're slacking. You should have been.
I
I've been
should have
part
been.
of it.
Okay. I should have.
Some supporter of the game you are. All right, guys. What other biggest takeaways from this weekend? Do either of you have one? Jen, Christine, you got one for me?
I think your mic just went out, but I
Yeah.
heard what you asked. I'm going to say that my big takeaway was this was again another do or die weekend of NWSL action, and we got an overwhelming number of draws. Like I feel like everybody is locked down defensively and hoped for the best. Like even in some of the tighter margins, we're seeing like own goals being deciders, which is so crazy. Everybody's got their game face on. I think for me, Angel City ended up being one of the more exciting matches of the weekend for me, surprisingly. I know we didn't really have a whole big bunch of shots the first half. Houston had nothing, but they came back rallying. I think it's a statement of probably resilience for all these teams this weekend because a lot of these teams are playing for next to nothing at this point, including Chicago, who continues to just bully people and take points here and there.
My biggest takeaways was huge confidence boost for Angel City and the Wave going into playoff push for Angel City and the Wave, hopefully, if they get it over the line. I think Wave specifically, more than capable. They've played some of the best football that's been more than enjoyable for us to watch this season. And they're capable of being right up there. So
yeah,
they're showing more signs now.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you guys hear me now? Is my sound back?
Yes. Yep,
Weird.
you're back. Thank you.
Weird. All right. Well, we're going to take a break. I'm going to reassess my sound situation and my audio. Guys, stick with us because we're going to talk Kansas City, Gotham, Orlando, Washington, North Carolina, all of it right after this quick break. Stick with us.
You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. So even if you can't count on accurate expiration dates,
that is a rookie mistake.
Or people appreciating your fashion sense.
Jen, the crowd is not on board here.
You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Glad we wear our good jerseys.
Yeah. You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Attacking Third. We are chatting NWSL Week 24 and our biggest takeaways, and we have to talk about Kansas City Current. They took down Gotham FC 2-0, and Kansas City, stop me if you've heard this before, they made history. They made more of it this weekend. The 20th.
I'm so tired of them. Make it stop. Them again.
History. 20th regular season win, 62 points. They snapped Orlando's record. That was 60 points just from a year ago. Temwa Shawinga had her league-leading 15th goal. Lorena, the goalkeeper, notched her 14th shutout, snapping Anna Morehouse's Orlando Pride shutout streak from last year. They are 17 unbeaten. It is a club record. And we got to see what we thought was going to be like one of the best and tightest games between Kansas City and Gotham, what I thought was, because it was the two best defenses going head to head. 11 goals against for Kansas City, 20 goals against for Gotham. And we saw that the first 30th minutes. There was no shots from either team, but then it was all Kansas City. I mean, can anyone stop them, Jen? Can anyone? And how would they stop Kansas City Current?
I think the team that have come closest, I mean, it's stating the obvious, the Spirit. I think I'll always go back to their game where Spirit got a player sent off. I think it was Hirschfeld, and they, kept it to a tie at 0-0. I think that's always the game that I'll resort back to when I'm trying to think of, right, who, apart from the Wave and what I just said, when they're on fine form. But let's talk about a team that are more consistent, which is Washington Spirit and their levels of quality up front. But I think this game, Gotham against KC, it was exactly like what you said. You're talking about two teams that are so defensively strong. So did I go into that game watching it thinking it was going to be the spectacle? Probably not, because you got teams that know how to defend really well, and there aren't going to be many of clear-cut chances. And then you have surely MVP Temwa Chewinga come off the bench when she's being rested. Come
I
on,
know.
let's just get
It's
into
the
that as
craziest
well.
thing.
I thought Bia was phenomenal. I thought the way she took her header was absolutely brilliant, and then to play that pass for Temwa Chewinga, the weight of pass on it was absolutely perfect. Timing, everything spot on. It needs whoever's going to compete. I do think Gotham are up there in terms of defensively. Of course, they let it slip up for 2 goals, but for me, it's still going to be spirit of who can really compete and score against them. Because you would have looked at that Gotham and thought, right, they can score goals, but they didn't go after the current as much as I would have hoped they would have. They were quite happy to sort of sit in their mid block and pick and choose when to step and when to press, but.
I expected more from Gotham. I expected more from Gotham in terms of going forward with the skill and the talent and the gritty players that Juan Carlos Amaros has going forward, and like who also started this game with Esther, Purse, Shaw, Howell. I just Rose Lavelle. I expected there to be more from Gotham going forward. And you just mentioned, Jen, that Gotham slipped up and they let in 2 goals. Like, to me, it maybe was a slip up, but absolutely not. To me, Kansas City played better. I mean, that goal from Bia on the header, like that was amazing. Like that was so much skill, and you're not stopping her ever. Same as the goal from Temwa Chewinga, like the flick on from Bia and the goal from Temwa, that she gets that shot, she's finishing it 10 times out of 10. And that to me is what separates these teams. I think Washington is a pretty good shout for someone that could maybe slow them down. It was a scoreless draw the most recent time that they played each other. Now, if that goes into if we get a full 120 minutes with overtime, like how does that change things? I think you have to look at depth, right? Like,
yep. I still think when I say slip ups, I'm talking about losing the ball in your own third, little lapse of judgments like that. And then even from a set piece, that's set pieces, you're stood, you're structured, crosses, not even set pieces, structured in the box. You had bodies in there. And I know be a head, stature, everything, great header, but Gotham will look back at those moments when they are defensively strong and know where they can fix and correct it. Sometimes when the current are that effective and that have that much quality, sometimes you look back and you think, who could have stopped that? Who could? Not many teams. Where I think Gotham could look back at those goals and be like, right.
Yeah, that's 1,000%. I think Gotham expected more of Gotham. The reality is Kansas City came in and they managed them. Okay. Like they kept them shotless for most of the match, just off target. And Kansas City properly limited their options. And then on top of that, when they did hit them, what happened, and you're right, Beattie, is those were errors that led to that, both defensively and positionally, because you're going to get overwhelmed. Yeah, okay. Kansas City are outstanding in their attack. They're a comprehensive team. They're going to hurt you in every which direction. But it truly was more a testament of Kansas City's impactfulness and efficiency from top line to back line than it was a scathing indictment on Gotham. Gotham, yes, have had issues throughout the season, now every season, in terms of final balls and being clinical and getting shots off. And that's been something that's, again, and I've said this before, is now a feature, not a bug of Gotham. But they have resilience. I don't think that this match is indicative of anything for Gotham other than Kansas City are so goddamn good.
Okay, so if you look at Gotham, Christine, knowing that there are 2 matches left, they haven't clinched a postseason yet. They want to make a run. They have the pieces to do it. They picked up a record-breaking signing in Jaden Shaw to be able to make a run in the postseason. What do they have to work on? What do they have to clean up in the next 2 games before they hopefully make it into the postseason?
It's legitimately, for me, again, converting chances, number 1, okay? Because we know that they have the attacking teeth. Esther is up there in the Golden Boot race, okay? But they have more threats than that, just in terms of firepower. Aside from that, defensive resilience, and especially being able to stop, and again, one-of-a-kinders like Chewinga, which we've asked this question of every defender, every team, across everyone in this league. She's damn near unstoppable outside of when she has picked up a small knock, okay? If she's on the bench, you're safe. Outside of that, it's all bets off with Temwa Chewinga. And then just maintaining their psychological edge, keeping their sharpness, we know they have it. Sometimes it looks like they get a little bit complacent. And I know that sounds kind of like, to me, sometimes I feel like that's a cop out because we talk about like, oh, do you really want it? And I think I laugh at that more often than not, but it truly is. And I think that those things contribute to their lapses defensively. It's just somebody gets caught for a second, maybe staring at a cloud, and like they make a small error, they're a half step behind. And with teams like Kansas City, you cannot be that. You cannot do that. You cannot sneeze the wrong way. You need to be sharp, sharp, sharp. Stuff like that helps Gotham. They have so much versatility too. It's not like they don't have the depth. So for me, they're still a threat. Right now, in terms of preparedness and capacity, yeah, I still would rate Washington Spirit just slightly higher than Gotham in terms of being a threat to Kansas City.
I'm looking at their last two games, Gotham, Louisville, and then the NC Courage. And for me, the two things that jump out when you're playing those teams is one, building up against Louisville, because we all know how effective Louisville's press can be. So if you are, which Gotham looks so comfortable at the back, playing at the back. I love watching Sonnet and Jess Carter play together. I think the way they calm and composed, just so much experience at the back, but any lapse of judgment, and Louisville can take advantage of that. And then the transitions against the Courage, I think. I think when they are having those fast attacks, because NC Courage will give you space in behind. They want to dominate the ball. They want to have the ball in the middle of the pitch. They will give you space. So you have to go and threaten that in behind when you win the ball back. For me, sometimes when I watch Gotham, those quicker attacks, I think they're best when they're breaking down a block and playing those intricate passes when you've got a player like Esther. But when the sort of faster attacks in transition, I think that'll be they have to be on it against Courage to pick up points in that game. So they're my two things.
Honestly, playing against Louisville and North Carolina in the last two games that are 8th and 9th respectively in the standings is like staring down the barrel of a gun for Gotham FC, because they are going to have the biggest uphill battle to climb. And this loss to Kansas City for Gotham snapped an 11-match unbeaten streak, but only one win in their last 4 games. I think the draws have really been crucial for them. And if they could have snuck out just 1 point against Kansas City, which is doable, I think, for this Gotham team, it would have changed the trajectory towards the end of this season.
Yeah.
But they couldn't, and they didn't. And to me, that says so much more about how strong Kansas City is. The fact that Black Wininowski can have Temwa Shawinga on the bench, Kayla Sharples, Haley Mace on the bench to start this game and still have so much firepower. And Black Wininowski is having this really crazy game of balance that he has to play right now, of keeping these starters fresh, but also getting some of these other players, whether they're younger or a little less experienced, time, because he knows he's going to need them come the postseason when games are going into 120 minutes, if they are, or penalty kicks, and building towards what the playoffs will look like. Because despite Kansas City winning the Shield and ultimately being number 1 in the NWSL standings for all but 4 weeks, come match day 26, all but 4 weeks they've been at the top of the standings is insane. They don't care. They won an NWSL championship, and that is terrifying. Terrifying.
Yeah. I think what's also crazy when you're talking about those two players, Chowinga and Kayla Sharples, coming back from injury, credit to the team behind the team, by the way, because I know they weren't out for long, but they looked sharp when they came on straight away. Obviously, Chowinga affecting the game straight off the bench, but then even Kayla Sharples getting into it with midge-purse not long after, and that's hard. When a defender coming into it, that's difficult. So credit to the team behind the team. I thought they both looked back sharp coming back from injury.
All right, I like this one a lot. Gotham has to take on Racing Louisville and North Carolina Courage. Of course, we'll preview it later in the week once we get to week 25 in the NWSL. But we have some other takeaways, because Orlando Pride took down Portland Thorns 1-0 at the end of this one. A forced own goal in the 2nd minute of stoppage time. 3 points for Orlando. It jumps them up in the standings. Portland severely dropped in the NWSL standings. This was a big win for Orlando, Christine. Is this the Orlando of 2024? Is this the playoff push Orlando that we are now going to see?
I'm not sure. They broke a pattern of drop points, is what I'll say. And they need that desperately. I needed it to be more than just getting by off an OG. I needed to see a little more of them, but I think this is a good flip of the coin to maybe get them hyped again. Mad Marta is always chef's kiss. Like, love to see that. Um, she's going to need to rally her team. I say this as somebody that is fully prepared for us to hit the like pull the receipts episode where we had our preseason predictions, and I said that Orlando would double this season, and I'm going to be sitting here eating my hat. I don't
I'd like
know.
to see
I
that.
don't know. They do not look as sharp, as hungry as they did last season. And I think that we saw them come together and galvanize much earlier last season. And they had been riding that momentum, that like just sort of magic that they seem to have together. And, you know, the bravado of like, you see us now. And they haven't had that this season. They haven't had that to grip tight to. I don't know yet. I want to see it. I want to see them show out. I just,
This game ending in a win for Orlando, it does not dictate how this match unfolded by any means. I think Portland played really well in this game. They had some really good moments. They had some really good chances created. Portland got lucky with 2 Ali Watt goals called offside. One was very clearly offside. The second one marginally offside. And that was the chance for Portland to say, okay, we just got a little bit of a lucky streak. Let's go. Let's finish shots. In the opening 25 minutes of this game, Portland probably should have had 2 goals. They should have finished. And that to me is something that is really terrifying if I'm a Thorns fan heading into the postseason, knowing that we can't be clinical. We can't finish in front of goal when we might have a lot of the momentum on our backs, or things just went our way in a really big moment where a goal got called back from the opposition against us. Now we have to go forward. And they weren't able to capitalize on that. To me, it says a lot more about Portland and their fact that they weren't able to close out this game with points.
That's exactly it, Lisa, especially since we know that Portland have historically been a team that have given Orlando hell. So to see this happen the way that it did, which is quite unfortunate, kind of compounds the fact that we've seen Portland this season have just consistency issues. We've seen them come into form and look absolutely stunning, beautiful. We've talked to Rob Gale this season a bunch of times where he's talked about, you know, working more closely with certain players like Olivia Moultrie, with Dana Castellanos, and sort of seeing a yield come out of them. And then we've seen these sort of like cratering performances where they haven't been able to see matches out. Is it an implication or a scathing indictment on them? I mean, yeah, it could be like their XGs and things like that are criminally like the graph that I have to draw. Not good for everybody that's listening to this and not seeing me do my little that was my graph finger of the up and down.
I think Orlando, though, there's still it's too obvious to say they're missing Banda, because they are, but it's the intensity she brings, that when Marta comes off the bench, and to use your words, Mad Marta, Cupo, but it was an intensity that she just brought into the game, that I think that's what Banda does. So whether we're talking about Portland or Orlando, I wanted to highlight that from a pride perspective, because I think that it's scary to think when there's one big player missing, well, technically 2, when Marta was out injured as well. So to have Marta back, at least, that just, I don't know, the drive that she still has is phenomenal. And that clearly, I genuinely think, whether, you know, own goal or not, I think she's still a huge part of it. It was her cross that went in, obviously, but she brought the intensity, and that's what that does. It leads to moments like that. I genuinely believe that you create your own luck, and Marta did.
Yeah, but without Banda, without Marta, can they do it? Can they get it done?
They don't have the depth in terms of goal scorers that know the back of the net, like end of days, the way that they rely on Banda.
In the
they just haven't had it,
right? Like, think of Marta in the postseason. She understands high stakes games in those moments, and
she comes up big.
Banda's
like,
just so good.
Yes, right. And when we don't have that, and you're looking down the barrel at also losing an Ali Watt, who quite frankly still stands out in my mind for doing a significant amount of heavy lifting in the postseason last season, and is still a big impact on field now. Her exit is going to be essentially a rebuilding for Orlando. They can't afford to have the loss of an Ali Watt and injured Banda. I wasn't really surprised to see them give up Krista Chalufia because, again, I kind of thought of her as somebody to play in tandem to Banda and or as an alternative to, and she just isn't the prolific
Yeah.
goal scorer anybody expected of her. So yeah, they have a serious goal scoring
Well, okay,
drought.
we need to give some love to Jackson and Charlie because they
Mhm.
Simone Jackson looks so good in this game against Portland. Charlie off the bench was an immediate impact. She looked like, hey, I want to be involved. How am I going to do it? Is it going to be dropping back? Is it going to be stretching in behind? And that partnership between Jackson and Charlie, if it needs a little bit more time to be perfect, but they have really good moments of incredibly dangerous play, being active and also looking like they want it, having that bite and that intensity that someone like a Banda brings off the bench, but in a very different style and way of doing it. Guys, I'm really into Simone Jackson. She looked really good in this game against Portland. I was very, very impressed with her. So I think that's a person that players can look or fans can look towards next year and say, okay, this is someone that we can build around, that we can continue to get minutes to and see how they grow in the NWSL.
So I note that you say next year, Lisa. Do you
Mm.
think that that relationship can sharpen early enough to have them be impact play? Because yeah, I was excited to see Charlie back, quite frankly.
Absolutely.
Massive impact. So it's funny how we chose one and the other. But are we banking if we have to put Chip center table? Are we banking that those two can foster a chemistry and build fast enough that they will be the difference for Orlando at this point in the season?
No, because I don't think anyone can beat Kansas City. So like, it's one thing to talk about.
So they're not going to
gonna
tussle with them.
It's one thing to have the conversation of, okay, who's going to make the playoffs? Who's going to host a playoff spot, be in that top 4? And I think that's where Orlando sits in that conversation. They're in third right now on 36 points with 2 match days to go. Can they stay in that third place spot? That's the best that they could get, considering Washington and Kansas City have already clinched. Orlando does have to play in the CONCACAF W Champions Cup, and then they have to play Washington and Seattle, who's fighting for a spot as well. It's not going to be easy, but I think, Orlando's in the postseason to me, but Christine, I don't think anyone's taking down Kansas City. So
Do you think
that's
that
why
they
I'm
can
just
give
like,
them a
next year.
little tussle, little mess them up, little slow them down?
No, I think it could be Washington that could tussle with Kansas City and throw them off their rocker, or at least force it to penalties, force it late in the game. And I think I'll give Jen a shout here in the chat about Gotham being able to maybe disrupt what Kansas City wants to do moving forward. But otherwise, it's kind of it. Who knows? Maybe Chicago will throw a grenade in there. Because when do they not?
I have to say it just for Funky in the chat. Yeah, that would be the lobbing of the chaos grenade, wouldn't it?
Lobbing
They're
of the
just playing
chaos grenade.
bingo based on my
Wave her up there.
colloquialisms now. They're just like shoop shoop, Xing them out.
All right. Well, if
I
you're
keep it
playing bingo
interesting,
with
chat.
us, you haven't heard our weekly best 11 yet. Ding, ding, ding. Are we going to mention a player's name that you've been thinking about all weekend, saying, hey, are they going to be on A3's best 11? Well, we're taking a break. We're coming back with best 11. Stick with us. See if you hear your player's name. Hey, welcome back to Attacking Third, brought to you by CarMax, the way car buying should be. A3 Weekly Best 11. The time is now. The time is here. Get out your scorecards. Let's see who made it. Jen, you've got our forwards. I've got the midfielders. Christine's bringing up the rear with our defensive players, our back four, and our goalkeeper. Of course, we're going to have coach of the week and also captain of the week. But Jen, we're going to start with you in the front. Let's roll.
All right. Bia was my easiest number 9. Yeah, her header was awesome. Set up Chewinga for the second goal. She was my straightforward. I loved Rodman's goal. I thought the way she cut inside and that little bit of quality, so she was in there. We had a lot of ties this weekend, okay? There wasn't like a whole ton of forward play. So I was thinking, watching all the games, thinking, right, okay, who's... and it kind of for me was in moments.
Kenza, say Kenza.
No. So here's my question: when does attacking midfielders come into
I was
play
going to
for?
say Kenza's a
I know,
midfielder.
because I wanted Martha
right.
in there. I wanted Martha, but you guys won't let me, right?
Oh, she plays in the front though.
Sort of, right?
Sometimes.
Okay. Well, okay. Bia, Rodman, and if you will allow me, Marta, if you won't, I thought for the San Diego Wave, everything was coming out the right hand side. So Cascarino for me was my other wide forward. They're my three.
I like that. I would also say that Marta is a forward. She mostly plays in the front line.
Yeah. She's also my captain of the week, just to throw that out there.
Marta.
Yeah, just her energy off the bench, mate. Like that's what. Oh.
Okay, we'll get there. I'm not going with that one.
Okay.
Okay, wait. So who are your forwards? You threw me off here. You're talking all over the place.
Bia, Rodman, and Cascarino.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Rodman on the left for the sake of the three forwards, but Cascarino on the right, Bia through the middle, Rodman on the left.
Okay. I like that. I like the
Appreciate
shout
it.
for Cascarino. I think she had a good game this week.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, Marta's goal was pretty clutch. Like I could see you making an argument for her in that one.
Was it Martha's goal though?
Well, she forced it. To me, that's a forced own goal. Absolutely.
I agree.
All day on her. All day on her.
She made a nice mess.
I know I'm naming three, but they were definitely my standout. Bia was first on the list. Like
absolutely. Goal and assist. I mean, she is so good on the ball. She's so fun to watch.
Yeah. And I feel like for the Wave, like Cascarino, okay, maybe she didn't get a goal. I don't think she got an assist either, but she created plays and put balls into the ball and was just constantly a threat. And I think that's what performance-wise over 90 minutes.
Okay. I'm gonna give that one to you. Christine, do you have any thoughts?
No, I like it. I like how I totally zoned out and was like, we're in the midfield, right? I'm so one-track minded. I was already picking midfielders. I'm like, I'm ready to argue over midfield. No,
over to
I'm
you.
good, I promise. I didn't even get midfield, which probably was intentional because you'll be here with me for like 12 weeks listing off like 33
we are graced with phenomenal midfielders in this league.
Guys, this was a hard week for me to pick midfielders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 on my list, so I'm going to need your help narrowing them down. My lock-in is Kenza Dali all day, every day. So good. She forces the own goal before half. Then she gets the game-winning goal. Like Kenza Dali is absolutely stellar. I'm going Claire Hutton. With Kansas City because every week Claire Hutton does so much defensive work for Kansas City, blocking shots. She's tracking back. She's being pulled wide in and out of space. And then she wants to contribute. And she is such a factor in the way Kansas City builds and moves so quickly. So I'm going with Claire Hutton as well.
I like that one. Yeah, I like that one because of the matchup with Jalen Howell. That was a great midfield battle, and I love watching a midfield battle, and that was definitely.
And Claire Hutton won. She won that midfield battle.
Yeah.
No, she did.
I really liked. No, I agree with you. I just really like Jalen Howell. I think she's had a brilliant season.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, no arguments
there. Hutton, and that's why she's in your midfielders.
Exactly.
Because it was a great matchup, and you think
it was a great matchup. Absolutely. So Claire Hutton all day for me. My last 3, I was gonna maybe go with Croy Bethune, the Kennedy Fuller, like no look pass. It got me looking because I always have recency bias in these final games. But I'm gonna go with Shinomi for North Carolina Courage. Because this young 20-year-old player ends up scoring the goal to grab a point for North Carolina Courage at the end of this game against Washington Spirit. And North Carolina so desperately needed that. They had 2 goals called back during this game. It was such a slog of a game with the weather and the pouring rain in Cary, North Carolina. This goal from Shinomi keeps North Carolina in the fight for playoffs, keeps them treading water at that playoff line, and they needed it. If they dropped those all 3 points to Washington, it would be a very different story. So I'm going with Shinomi for North Carolina.
I don't have any arguments. I like it. I mean, you gave me what I needed in Dali. So
just wanted Kenza.
proceed.
I
Yes,
think
I'm gonna be
honorable mention to Croy Bethune, because guys, so fun to
Yeah.
watch that girl play. So fun to watch Bethune play. But I wanted to give it to Shinomi, and I'm in charge of the midfield.
And funny, Croy Bethune hasn't even had, in and out of injuries and has struggled consistency. So again, I feel like we've projected to next season quite a lot. But this is another one that for Croy Bethune, for consistency of next season, she's gonna new heights for sure.
Yeah.
We did a 2-for-1, Beattie, so we don't have to do a preview episode. We're just gonna run this one back, carefully editing.
Yep. All right,
I like
Christine, hit us with your back five. You got defenders and goalkeeper.
Yeah, you guys gave me a lot of work today. Do I get paid extra because I'm doing the backline and the goalkeeper today? Is that how this works out now? Okay. I'm going on one theme today. I'm going with Hannah Lundqvist for the Wave. Massive impactful contributions for the Wave. But also, she was the assist for that Kenza Dali goal. And so all roads lead back to Dali, or whatever the saying is. I'm going to go Izzy Rodriguez for Kansas City. I'm going Tara McKeown. And then I'm going to go Mally McKenzie for Portland Thorns, just because she did a lion's share of work, clearances, interceptions, blocks, full on amalgam of heavy lifting. And then I have the hardest time with goalkeeper, because sure, we could give it to Lorena, because let's put records on records on records on records.
Thank you.
My only, I think, asterisk there is going to be Casey Murphy for North Carolina, because she had 5 saves on 6 shots on, and they legitimately would not have come away with that point against the Spirit if it were not for her.
I like Izzy Rodriguez a lot.
I don't think Mally McKenzie should be in there.
Wow, she did a lot of work for the Thorns. Who would you suggest?
The ball went off her face into the goal.
I mean, yes, but I can't blame her for that. I know, dude, but
you can't blame her for that. Get it out.
I mean, yeah, her face. I get it. But she did all of the other good activities outside of the face on goal. So Reina Reyes, I feel like they did a good. I mean, Portland Thorns played well. Who else would you like to
Portland
throw
Thorns
in there?
did play well. Honestly,
it could have been a bloodbath if it wasn't for the
MA played pretty well. Yeah. If I'm looking at Portland,
I'll go MA.
She played pretty well. What do you think,
did.
Jen?
I sat there looking at Portland and was like, all right.
Jen, what do you think defensively?
I love Izzy Rodriguez. I think 6 assists this season. I think already is to have those kind of numbers from an outside back. I you know what, I love crosses in the box that don't just put it in the box, they pick players out, and that's what she does. So I like it. It's a big call from you, Lisa, with the header in or own goal, whatever it was, came off her.
What do you think, Jen? Should she be in our best 11?
I think if you're no, I agree with you. I don't think so.
Okay.
But who would we put in, Lise? Who would we put in?
I think MA had a pretty good week.
MA?
If we're looking at Portland, I think she played pretty well. What about in this Angel City game? Recency bias? I don't know. I mean, anyone for Kansas City is always a shoe-in for me, because they're just so good.
I know. I mean, it's hard not to.
You did Lorena, right? Lorena?
Yeah, I'm going to go Lorena as my keeper. I'm trying to keep it a little bit diverse, so it's not so.
I understand.
Maddie Curry
singular
from
focus.
Seattle, says producer. Sonis, we do love Sonis. We do love Janine Sonis.
Funky Old Medina is saying Miyabi for Angel City. And I love that shout. I love watching her play. That's a good one to me.
Call it.
I could do Miyabi. I like Miyabi a lot, actually.
We're getting some other love for MA in the chat too. I think she had a good game for Portland.
She did have a good game. I tend to look at both. How did it look optically in terms of movement, on ball, off ball? And then I do look at the stats. And that's why I literally was like, yeah, own goal, which I get it. Massive.
I go off vibes.
I get it. She still led the team in clearances, interceptions, and blocks, which is why I was like, maybe, but yeah, unfortunate face goal. So then we pivot to, in my head, I'm like, okay, Reina Reyes, who had a clinical shot block at the 33rd minute that really could have been the game tipper. Emma Vignola, yes, she did really great. I could go Miyabi. I really do like Miyabi.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do
Should I
it.
do it? Should I do
Yeah,
it?
let's do
Yeah.
it. Our producer
Okay,
wants to
let's
give
go
us
ahead.
some wants us to give some love to Janine Sonis for Louisville, who is a
I
converted
did. I
wingback.
literally picked
Yeah.
Sonis for my last
Yeah.
team of the week. I mean, I love her, and she's been great, especially since she's been slotted into
Yeah,
that
and
back
she
line.
did well this week. She did well this week for sure
Yeah,
for
she's
Louisville.
been consistent, man. You gotta say, like, she's
Okay.
been really, really good.
We ultimately got to our full 11. What about our coach of the week? What do we think for this one?
Ooh.
Who did you have for this? I'm intrigued to hear you had this down because
I
this
think
was
you could probably guess who I had for this one down.
Are we
I
all,
Black
are we all saying
Wojnarowski
Blackhole?
because-
Yeah, but we
yeah,
can't.
like
Blackhole, it's hard not to him every week.
I
Like,
know.
let's
Boring.
be,
Blacko's gonna get like Coach of the Year, Coach of the Millennium, Coach of the Century.
yeah.
I'm
like-
sorry, they broke like 3 more records this week.
I know,
He
it has to
deserves
be.
Yeah.
it, and he's
It really
rotating
has to be.
players.
Yeah.
It has to be Black Wojnarowski.
It has to be.
Sorry, but Lisa on XV expected vibes is my favorite comment.
Yeah, like that's how I go off to.
Strauss, that's a great call though. Strauss, first win in ages.
Yes,
Yeah.
Angel
Strauss,
City, that needed a turnover.
sure.
But look, we're only saying this because we're trying to come up with someone who's not Vladko when we all know it's going to be Vladko.
No, it should be
Vlatko.
Vlatko. I like the
Yeah.
shout for Alex Strauss, but it should definitely be Vlatko for this one. We agree?
Screw it. We ball. Vlatko.
Okay.
Yeah.
Captain of the week. Jen, you already said yours. You want to hit us again?
I'm tempted to change it to Bia though because leading the line.
I peer pressured you.
You did. Your face said it all. I was like, whoa, I was miles off with your
Right?
reaction.
As soon as you start to talk, Lisa's face, she doesn't even realize it. It's
It's
she
like-
gets like a subtle eye twitch, and you're like,
Side
oh, Lisa's gonna be
Oh,
scrappy.
she
over
doesn't
this
like
one.
that one.
I'm going Bia then.
Okay, good
Leading
shout
the
for Bia.
line. Yeah.
Good shout. I'm gonna go. Mine's a little out of the box. I love doing captain of the week out of the box. Mine are going to be the fans in North Carolina Courage because they had over 8,000 fans in the pouring rain. It was the 7th highest attendance in club history. And it was like nor'easter. There's a nor'easter hitting the East
Yeah, there
Coast. And
is.
these fans were still like, go team until the end. So that's my shout, the fans in North Carolina.
I will say you've mentioned the weather a lot. And if you don't go to pick up tomorrow night because of the storm, you better let us know. Because
Jen, will you be there? You want to come play tomorrow?
I might retract.
Wait, what kick around is
up
happening tomorrow? What don't I know about?
Jen, I'll see you there.
I'll see you there. Rain, hail, or shine. We're there.
Yes, we'll be there.
That was a great call. Great call. I loved it.
I'm going with the fans in North
All right.
Carolina.
Yeah, I did think that watching some of the games, I was like, wow, the fans are showing up in that
The
weather.
weather was pretty rough in Utah too, but
Utah, yeah.
it was pretty empty. Whereas North Carolina, over 8,000 fans. Are you kidding me? And Carrie, let's go.
Great.
I like it. I need to do an asterisk because I need to collect my side supplemental pay from Racing Louisville and say, "Any ball, sir." I'm not paid, but I could be, Lou. I mean, I'm available. Yeah. Yeah, like her and her header goals coming in clutch. But I do like I think I like the shout for honorary captain being North Carolina fans.
Yeah, I like the shout for Balser. Right, 93rd minute, steal point off Chicago, stay in the hunt.
Oh,
for
sure.
The
Now
playoffs.
the enthusiasm. I got the eye twitch at first, which was like, oh, I was like, okay, I'm not going to go against Lisa.
Yeah, guys, I don't have that much power. I promise, I have none.
Are you sure?
All right, I like this one. Any other thoughts from the week, my friends?
It's getting close. It's going down to the wire.
Weird.
Two more.
2 more games. Can you believe that? Regular season. Whoa. No, I'm loving it. Whoa.
It went so fast.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Jen's loving it. Guys, this was fun. I love this episode. I loved hanging with you all. We have Champions League coverage this week. Match day 2. It takes center stage. Jen, you're going to be there. It's on Paramount Plus. You're home for Europe's top club tournament, 2 p.m. Eastern. It all starts on Wednesday. Jen, where can we find you?
Paramount Plus.
Oh, you'll be at the desk.
Yeah.
You'll be in the studio with the crew.
No, can I actually tell you a secret?
Yeah, sure.
I actually can't do this round because I have an already commitment elsewhere. I'm traveling this week. I know I'm traveling this week. I'm gutted because we had so much fun covering it. Everything was happening. 2 big days back to back, but the girls were doing an awesome job in the studio. I wish I was there.
Wow.
But I had
Okay,
something
so
booked already.
So you can watch Hannah Cash, Kelly O'Hara, Darian Jenkins, Janelle Farias, Chris Whittingham. Absolutely not Jen Beattie this week, but she might be back with us on A3.
Well, then I guess I'll make cookies in November.
So Women's Champions League Match Day 2 is happening this week, Paramount Plus, for the best coverage in the world about this. And guys, this was Attacking Third. We're going to be back tomorrow, Monday, 4:30 with Darian, Lowe, and McCall. You know, always doing those Monday shows on YouTube. W. Galazzo. 2 weeks ago in NWSL, only 2 teams have clinched, Orlando and Angel City, or Orlando, Kansas City, and Washington have clinched. And this was it. Attacking Third presented by CarMax, the way car buying should be. For Christine, Jen, Phil, Courtney, I'm Lisa. This was Attacking Third.